They didn't steal your life. You handed it to them. In pieces, wrapped in silence, masked as humility. You lowered your voice to keep the peace. You dimmed your ambition so others wouldn't feel small. You gave second chances to those who never earned the first. And now, they sit where you should have stood. They speak with the confidence you silenced in yourself. They rule the kingdom you built, while you beg for your place in it. This world is not kind to the gentle. It does not protect the pure. It bows only to those who command, not those who hope. Machiavelli didn't write for the wounded. He wrote for the ones ready to become dangerous. Not with violence, but with clarity, with strategy, with the willingness to become untouchable. If you're tired of being the one who's overlooked, if you're done apologizing for your strength, then it's time to rewrite everything they told you was noble. And build a mind they can't manipulate, a life they can't enter without permission, a throne they can't touch without fear. Let them call it cold. Let them call it cruel. You will call it control. They told you to wait your turn, to be patient, to prove yourself first, and you believed them. So you waited. You stayed quiet in rooms you should have dominated. You held the door open while others walked through it carrying your ideas. And now you wonder why no one hands you what you deserve. Because they never intended to. Power isn't distributed fairly. It is taken by those who stop asking and start deciding. You keep seeking approval from people who fear your rise. You ask for support from those who only feel safe when you're uncertain. You show your dreams to people who've never built anything. And you let their doubt rewrite your destiny. But Machiavelli saw it clearly. The world does not reward the worthy. It rewards the ruthless, the bold, the decisive, the one who moves before being invited. There is no committee assigning power. There is no judge weighing your kindness. There is only action and the results it creates. From this point forward, understand this: you don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to be powerful. You don't need to be chosen. You need to choose yourself. They will call it arrogance. Let them. They called it obedience when you bowed and still ignored you. So stop waiting. Stop explaining. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Power belongs to the one who claims it, not the one who begs for it. This is not ambition. This is survival. Start deciding. Start acting. Start taking. Because power, like respect, is never given. It is seized. They can't destroy what they can't define. And yet, you've made yourself an open book, hoping transparency would earn trust, hoping honesty would protect you. But in a world driven by image, the one who controls the story controls the outcome. You've shared your struggles too freely. You've confessed your doubts too early. You've made your pain visible, and they've used it as a blueprint to dismantle you. People aren't always listening to understand. Sometimes, they're listening to gain leverage. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power survives not through noise, but through control. And control begins with what you reveal and what you withhold. The world doesn't need to know your next move. They only need to believe you have one. Because silence creates mystery, and mystery breeds caution. You don't need to lie. You need to stop narrating your every thought. You need to stop giving them the language they'll one day use against you. The more you say, the more they analyze. The more they analyze, the easier you are to contain. But when you go quiet, when you become unreadable, they fill the gaps with fear, with curiosity, with respect. Control the narrative by saying less. Let them make assumptions. Let them wonder if you've changed, if you've hardened, if you're planning something bigger. Because the moment they can't predict you, they can't stop you. From this point forward, speak with purpose or not at all. Every word is a weapon. Every silence is a strategy. Don't use your voice to reassure the room. Use your silence to own it. Let others be loud. You be calculated. Let them explain. You execute. Because in the game of power, mystery always wins. They told you to be kind, to be patient, to be good, so you became the helper, the forgiver, the one who always made room for others. And they repaid you with betrayal. You thought love would make you untouchable. You thought loyalty would shield you from harm. But Machiavelli knew better. It is much safer to be feared than loved. Not because love is wrong, but because it fades, because it wavers, because it's given conditionally. Fear, on the other hand, is durable. It demands attention, it commands respect, it protects what love cannot. You've allowed emotions to dictate your choices. You've held back your strength to appear more likable. And in doing so, you've trained the world to overlook you. You tolerated the disrespect. You excused the betrayal. You apologized when you were the one bleeding. But listen carefully. Emotional weakness is not compassion. It is surrender. It is when you stay quiet to avoid making someone else uncomfortable. It is when you choose peace with others over peace with yourself. It is when you forgive too quickly, trust too easily, and love without strategy. This world rewards emotional clarity, not emotional chaos. The more they feel they can manipulate your feelings, the less they will respect your presence. You don't need to become heartless, but you must become fortified. Stop trying to win everyone. Stop softening your edges for people who sharpen theirs behind your back. Stop living to be liked. You are not here to be easy to understand. You are here to be impossible to defeat. They don't have to love you, but they must never feel comfortable crossing you. Be kind, but untouchable. Be generous, but not exposed. Be caring, but only when it serves your code, because when fear and love cannot coexist, power always sides with fear. You keep waiting for life to return to normal. But what you called stability was just a pause between storms. There is no return. There is only movement, forward or backward. And power belongs to those who move first. You've held onto comfort. You've clung to routines that once worked but now fail. You've mistaken the familiar for the safe. But Machiavelli understood this truth. A man who waits for certainty is already conquered. The world changes without warning. So must you. You weren't defeated by a stronger enemy. You were defeated by your refusal to evolve. By your belief that what once protected you will always serve you. But yesterday's habits can't carry today's ambition. You keep doing what feels secure, even as the ground shifts beneath you. And you wonder why the results don't change. Because adaptation is not optional. It is your armor. Adaptation doesn't mean abandoning your values. It means reshaping your tools. It means staying unpredictable. It means building new skills before the old ones collapse. While others complain about change, you must use it to your advantage. While they long for the past, you must prepare for the next move. The powerful don't fear change. They provoke it. Adaptation is the ultimate power move. Because it shows you're not married to weakness. It shows you will not be trapped by identity, history, or habit. Let them call you inconsistent. Let them call you unpredictable. Let them struggle to define you. That's how you survive. That's how you rule. Because in this world, nothing is fixed. Not loyalty, not circumstances, not even power. So either you evolve, or you become irrelevant. You've surrounded yourself with people out of guilt, out of nostalgia, out of fear of being alone. But proximity is not loyalty, and time spent is not value given. You keep dragging the wrong people forward, hoping they'll change, hoping they'll grow, hoping they'll someday match your vision. But the harsh truth: some were never meant to sit at your table. They were meant to be left at the gate. Machiavelli understood this. A prince must carefully choose his allies, for they shape his strength or hasten his fall. And yet you keep entertaining distractions. You keep negotiating with the disloyal. You keep offering your energy to the undeserving. The friend who speaks behind you. The partner who resents your ambition. The colleague who mimics but never contributes. Each one is a crack in your empire, and every time you excuse them, you weaken the very structure you're trying to build. This isn't about hatred. It's about clarity. It's about understanding that not all betrayal is loud. Some of it smiles in your face. You don't rise by carrying the unready. You rise by choosing who deserves to rise with you. Stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop feeding the ones who bring nothing to your table. Stop mistaking access for alignment. There is no strength in keeping everyone. There is power in choosing wisely. If they drain your focus, they forfeit their seat. If they dim your fire, they're not part of the mission. If they've shown you who they are, believe them. Cut with precision, withdraw without apology. Close the door without noise. Because the next chapter of your life is not built on loyalty to the past. It's built on loyalty to your future. Not everyone can come with you, and not everyone should. So let's strip away the illusions. Let's speak without softness, because softness is what lost you control in the first place. You didn't fall because you lacked talent. You fell because you believed power was something to be earned through patience. That someone would notice you, reward your loyalty, open the door out of fairness. But fairness is a myth told to the obedient. Power is not granted, it is taken. The longer you ask for permission, the more you declare yourself unready, and those who are seen as unready are never feared. You've been waiting to be chosen. What you needed was to choose yourself, and when you finally moved, you moved loudly. Too loudly. You explained your plans, your pain, your dreams, believing that honesty meant strength. But you handed over the blueprint of your mind to people who only wanted to use it. You told your story before it was complete. You made yourself readable. And in a world driven by control, the transparent are not admired, they are managed. Mystery is power. Silence is a weapon. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Let them invent their own fears. Because the moment they can no longer predict you, they can no longer contain you. You've also loved too blindly. You chose mercy over protection. You believed that by staying soft, you were staying noble. But nobility without boundaries becomes self-harm. They didn't take advantage because you were too kind. They did it because you wouldn't stop them. You thought love would buy loyalty. You thought understanding would invite respect. But people don't honor what they don't fear. And when they don't fear losing you, they take whatever they want. So now you understand, emotional weakness is not virtue. It is a weapon you handed to the enemy. It is the softness that kept you from claiming what was yours. You don't need to erase your heart. You need to train it to serve you, not sabotage you. But even if you learn all of this, it means nothing if you stay static. You keep replaying the past, waiting for the world to return to what once made sense. But that world no longer exists. And if you don't adapt, you will become a monument to your own irrelevance. Your enemies evolve, your rivals shift. The ones who rise are the ones who move first, break old forms, and walk into chaos before it becomes trend. Change isn't the threat, it's the doorway, and only the prepared step through it without falling. And finally, the most painful truth of all, not everyone is meant to go with you. You've been loyal to the wrong people for too long. You kept them close out of memory, guilt, fear. But they dilute your vision. They mirror your past, not your future. They clap for your failure. They shrink around your growth. They nod while they drain. You want to rise, but you carry anchors. And anchors don't float. Cut them loose. Not with hate, but with certainty. Because the throne you're rebuilding has limited seats. And not everyone qualifies to sit beside a ruler. This is what Machiavelli understood. That power is not preserved through feeling. It is preserved through discipline, through discretion, through unshakable clarity. Now that you've seen the blueprint, you must decide. Remain ruled by emotion, comfort, and memory, or rebuild your life with logic, silence, and fear respecting strength. One path keeps you liked, the other makes you unmovable. Choose wisely, you've been warned, not with threats, but with truths that most will never have the courage to face. They will tell you this is too harsh, too cold, too dark, and that's fine, because those are the people who still think the world plays fair. They still believe that being good is enough, that if they just keep being kind, the wolves will turn into sheep. But you know better now. You've seen what happens when you wait too long, when you trust too blindly, when you hold the door for people who would never do the same for you. You've watched yourself be ignored, underestimated, used, and now, finally, you're done begging, done bleeding, done believing that power will come find you when you've been good enough. The throne was always yours, you just forgot how to sit in it, so rebuild it, with silence, with strategy, with ruthless clarity. Don't seek revenge, replace them. Don't demand loyalty, command it. Don't prove your worth, move like you've already decided it. Rewrite your rules, rewrite your story, rewrite your throne. And when they ask what changed, tell them nothing changed, you just stopped asking and started ruling.